Hi, I'm Miss Rich. I'm an LRC teacher here at Lake Forest High School, being interviewed by Palmer Ferris for U.S. history, leading all events of 9/11.
Where were you on 9/11?
9/11 happened to have been a school day. Everybody came to school as a regular day. When it happened, rumors started spreading throughout all the classes. Kids were talking about it. That was during a time where kids didn't have a lot of phones, so it wasn't doing a lot of spread by phone and email the way it is now. It was just all word of mouth and parents calling to yank kids out of classes in school to have conversations about the events of the day.
Did you know anyone at there during 9/11?
I have no personal connection with people who worked at the towers.
Okay. How do you think this affected the USA?
It definitely changed the tone of how we looked at life. When you saw the devastation and watching real-time events happening and all the destruction and all the death and the dying was just horrible. Later in the time frames, you heard about all the heroic people and events that took place, and you felt kind of really relieved that we have such great people in our country, but overall it really put a sad mood on everything.
How did it affect you?
I was horrified that people had the ability to do such mass destruction with something as simple as crashing a plane into a tower. It's not something you ever think could ever happen, and when it happens, you're like, how did this not happen sooner? It makes you really appreciate what you have at home, what you have at work, your family, your loved ones. It changes a lot.
Was there anyone in your class that had relatives there?
I had a student who had an aunt that worked at the trade center, and it was difficult trying to help the student get a hold of parents and get taken home and having conversations, and then the return of the student and the conversations and how long it took to find her aunt, and then there was funerals, etc. It was tough.
What was the first thing you did when you heard that the planes had hit the towers?
Honestly, I didn't believe it. I didn't think that could actually happen. So the disbelief was the first, and then after that, there was a lot of head shaking, like couldn't believe that could actually happen.
How did the day start for you? Was it just an average day?
It was just a normal day. After the events started becoming much more prevalent in the news, the school then allowed a TV to be set up and a screen to be shown, a big screen, so lots of kids could sit around and watch. Teachers were very open to students walking in and out of class if they needed to see a social worker or counselor, or just to watch the events. We were down in the by the technology help desk in that little hallway, and there was a big portable screen set up, and there was probably at least 20 to 30 kids sitting in front of that screen all day long.
What do you think it was? What did you think it was when you saw it happen?
When you actually saw the video of the plane crashing in, I thought, oh my God, how could somebody make such a terrible mistake? And then when we found out that it was done on purpose, and you heard video or voice recordings of people who were standing there and watching the plane fly into the window of the Trade Center, it's hard to describe the feelings that you have at that moment because you're just so stunned.
Do you believe any of the conspiracy theories that are out there?
No. I mean, I saw enough tape or video of live interviews and all that. I just can't believe that no, I just can't believe that that is an option. My son, back in high school, he was one of those kids who said, well, the moon landing never happened. It was one of those Hollywood things. And I think the older your age determines how you believe some of these conspiracy theories and how it's a interesting thing to think of, but when you really look at all the evidence, it doesn't seem like it was a conspiracy, that the United States didn't do it to itself. It was outside.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.